Now we're going to talk about blocks. So blocks are a way of making a drawing more efficient in a number of ways. It saves memory for the drawing, but primarily it's a way of standardizing how things are put in a drawing. A good example of a block would be something like a desk. So if we're doing a furniture layout with desks in it, we want all of the desks to remain the same. So if we had an office layout that had a desk that was 100 by 200 in size, we would try as far as possible to have those desks as blocks. That means that if the desk was updated, we would just update one block and then all of the duplicate desks in the drawing would be automatically updated. We can have a look at how we create blocks here. So if we go up to the insert area of the ribbon and we can create a block, and we're going to call this block desk. And we're going to pick a point on screen for our insertion point. Pick a point, and I'm just going to pick the top corner, and then we're going to select our objects. So I'm selecting my objects with my crossing polygon, and then I right click to enter. So I'm going to select this convert to a block to convert these objects into the block. That's generally the easiest way to do things. I can put a description in. I'd always have my block unit as millimeters, and that's generally what we would do at the very beginning. So there's my block. That's been converted into a block. Generally, when we're designing blocks, we would put our block in on the layer that we want the block to appear on. So if I was doing this properly, I would have a desk layer and the block would be created in the desk layer. Then if I was inserting the block, I would insert it on a special layer called layer 0. And this means that if it's inserted on layer 0, it will retain the original layer characteristics of the block as it was designed. So if the block was drawn on layer desk and inserted on layer 0, then when the desk layer is turned off, the block will disappear, as it should do. If it is inserted on a different layer, you will have to turn that layer off. This can cause a lot of problems and a lot of confusion. It's a more advanced topic, but it's certainly something to adhere to. So let's see how this block operates. We're going to copy the block, CP for copy, and this, I'm just going to copy this maybe 3 or 4 times. And so I have my desks copied around in no particular order. Now, the power of blocks is that if I want to update this block, all I have to do is double click on it and I can edit this block, go OK, and I'm brought into what's called the block editor. So I'm going to decide I'm going to move this. This is meant to be a grommet. A grommet is a little plastic piece of plastic that covers a hole in a desk to bring your cables up. I'm going to move this maybe to the other side. Okay, but you could change the dimensions. You could make it more elaborate. You could put a computer on it and stuff like that. So I've changed it the way I want to do. I've edited my block, and now I can close this block editor. The way we know we're in the block editor is it's gone grey. Okay, close the block editor, save the changes to the block, and now when we go in, we can see that all of these elements have been changed. And this is a really powerful way to design drawings. So you can think of it like the way a drawing is done, particularly in the building industry, where you would make a block of, say, a window detail at the very beginning before you know the final details. You could put that into a planning application or a design drawing, and then when it comes to tender stage, you could have a more up-to-date block put in there. Okay, so that's the blocks. The blocks offer an efficient way of creating a good drawing with a good standard. So, for example, if the block was drawn on layer 0 and inserted on